Okay. Jesus arises on you with healing in his light to heal the wounds in your soul that came from trauma. Look, we can get wounded by trauma. You know, when Paul in the New Testament talks about all the stuff he went through, beaten with rods, stoned, shipwrecked, floating in the sea, naked, wanting, persecuted by his brethren, you know, all the things that he went through, there's a long list that he talks about. And then at the end of the list, he says, now if I must glory in these things, I will glory in my infirmities. What is he talking about there? The word infirmity there means weakness and infirmity of the body and of the soul. So what is Paul saying? He's saying that when he went through all the traumas, the crises, the stresses, the attacks, the persecution, that those things actually wounded his soul. Okay, that's what happens when we go through trauma. And trauma has the power to wound your soul. Wound your soul. It's true. But the light of Jesus Christ can heal trauma. Let me give you just one example of a person in the Bible that I believe was wounded by trauma. And that is the woman with the issue of blood. We're going to skip ahead a little bit, Ellie, to Mark 5:25 through 26. This is in the Amplified Classic, okay? It says this, look at it. It says, and there was a woman who had a flow of blood for 12 years, who had endured much suffering under the hands of many physicians and had spent all that she had and was no better, but instead grew worse. Wow. Okay, you imagine that is a lot of trauma. 12 years of trauma. 12 years of trauma. She suffered at the hands of all these physicians. I mean, every time she went to another physician, it said that she didn't get better, she grew worse. So she suffered at their hands. And it says she spent all the money she had. Man, that is a lot of trauma. She ends up hearing about Jesus, reaching out, fighting her way through the crowd, reaching out, touching the hem of his garment, and she gets completely healed. Now, she was healed in her physical body, but I believe she was also healed of the trauma in her soul, because the Bible says that power came out of Jesus when she touched the hem of his garment. That word power is dunamis, and it means excellence of soul. And also it means the power to perform miracles. So I believe that she had a power. She received power to perform a miracle in her physical body. Her bleeding stopped, but she also became excellent of soul. She got healed of all the trauma she went through. Now, how is the light connected to this? You understand that when she did that, when she reached out for the hem of his garment, she was fulfilling an Old Testament prophecy about Jesus in Malachi 4:2, that the Son of Righteousness would arise on us with healing in his wings. That's the wings or the hem or the tassels of the prayer shawl. Okay. She had heard that prophecy about Jesus, and she knew that if she touched the wings of the prayer shawl of the Son of Righteousness, when he arrived, when the Christ, the Messiah, finally came, that there'd be healing in his wings.